The Supreme Court has been on a roll. First with, of course, keeping Obamacare as well as legalizing same-sex marriage. But there are some other decisions that have come out as well that are almost equally as important. This one would be the Arizona Redistricting Commission. Now, what was that? Well, according to Reuters, the court, in a ruling 5-4, ruled that the ballot initiative did not violate the U.S. Constitution's requirement that the state legislators set congressional district boundaries. The ruling could pave the way for more states to adopt similar procedures. Now, what procedures? Well, basically what this is that this is a way to have an independent commission draw their own congressional districts instead of leaving it up to the legislature. Now, why would they do that? Well, they had the issue of gerrymandering. Now, gerrymandering, of course, is when you decide to draw your own districts in an effort to get more votes, to have safe districts. Now, both Democrats and Republicans are known to gerrymander districts. Since 2010, of course, Republicans have turned that up to 11, essentially, and gerrymandered the hell out of districts. And that's why, of course, Republicans got 1 million less votes, yet still retained control of the House of Representatives. That was through, of course, gerrymandering as well as blocking people's access to the polls through things like voter ID laws. So gerrymandering is a big problem. Arizona decided, hey, we're going to get rid of that. Okay, we're going to put the kibosh on that shit right here. And so they appointed an independent commission to draw their own lines. Now, that was, of course, challenged in the Supreme Court, and the decision was handed down, of course, along partisan lines. The liberal justices said, yes, you can do this commission. Of course, the conservative justices love gerrymandering, so they voted against this. Now, Ruth Bader Ginsburg, notorious RBG, wrote the decision for the court, said the Constitution's language giving legislators the role of setting the times, places, and manners of federal elections refers not to a specific legislative body, but instead to a state's general authority to legislate on the issue, which could include a voter-led initiative. She writes, Arizona voters sought to restore the core principle that the voters should choose their representatives, not the other way around. The state's Republican-controlled legislature objected to this 2000 ballot initiative endorsed by Arizona voters that set up this independent commission to determine the U.S. House of Representative districts. Now, this commission was created as a part to eliminate partisan redistricting by whatever party happened to be in control of the state legislature. Of course, this would be the Republican Party at this point. Wendy Weiser, director of the Democracy Program of New York at University School's Law of Brennan Center for Justice, said this decision reaffirms the people's authority to rein in self-dealing legislatures. And it also says the Constitution is not a barrier to states who want to address the problem of partisan gerrymandering. Now, if you can see the picture up here, that is the gerrymander, okay? And it's, I mean, this is a major problem that we have, okay? And that we should have addressed a long time ago. When you get to draw your own districts, of course you're going to draw it in your favor unless you have rules. Now, these independent commissions are made up equally of Republicans and Democrats that have to come together in order to come to an agreement on how these districts are drawn. And they need to draw it equally in order to get the right kind of representation. Now, as I said, and sometimes that favors Republicans, sometimes that favors Democrats. But at least it's more representative of the people, and as it should be. Congressional districts should represent the people who live there, not the party that wants to retain control. It seems ridiculous to me that today, in this day, 2015, that we're allowing these politicians to do this, to do these blatantly, really kind of fucked up looking districts in order to have safe seats. As I said, any politician that does that, Republican or Democrat, shouldn't be doing that, shouldn't be allowed to do that. And so I'm definitely in favor of different places, different states coming up with these independent panels. Whether it goes our way or not, at least it's representative of the people, and that's what government is supposed to be. representative of the